It's the 18th of September, and we're heading out again.
What time is it?
Oh yeah, we have to know the departure time. It's 9:16. And we left at 5:30 in the morning and had 3 stops on the way. So the backpack weights, you are
31.6.
and I am 34.4.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have some fresh food.
Yeah, which lunch might be kind of early.
Yeah, the thing is the grapefruit.
Yeah, the
It's very
grapefruit.
heavy.
Yeah, and that's lots of moisture. Yeah, we need to get through that fairly quickly. So we parked down from Victoria Bridge and then walked to the bridge and to go across it.
We're heading to Rainy Lake. See if we
We're
can
heading,
get there.
now we want to get to Rainy Lake in one shot. And that's why we're so concerned about weight. We've chosen the white side of the trail, not the blue side trail, in addressing the Ragged Rapids Loop. Last time we were here, this was our way out. It's an easier hike, but a little longer. And since we're more heavily laden, because of some fresh food that we brought with us, we decided we would do this alternative on the way in and the blue on the way out.
This is our first beaver dam crossing. This is a nice one.
So I wanted to show what I'm wearing only because there's something that I've been doing out of habit, which isn't what Jenny's been doing. I used to be looking for clothing to wear hiking, and for some reason the army fatigue pattern used to really attract me. And so I have quite a bit of stuff that's like army fatigue pattern, and then the plain darker colored hiking pants below. And it's been how many years now? And we finally discovered why you wouldn't choose earth colors for your hiking clothes, because the other person can't see you.
Yeah, I need
Which
to find you.
Well, that's exactly what camouflage is designed to do, is make you not show up. But why did my brain say, oh, camouflage, that's appropriate for camping and hiking? No, it's not.
No, you wanted to hide.
Where did I ever get that? What a beautiful day. It's cool, virtually bug-free, sunny. So we're in short sleeve shirts because it was too hot with anything more on. And it is cool. There was a frost last night, I think. I saw it on roofs only when we were on the way up. Supposed to have been a low of 3. So maybe there was some gusts of frozen air frosting up roofs. This is a nice part of the trail because the combination of walking in open spaces covered in rocks, which is a beautiful flat surface, and walking through wooded sections, which are shaded, and add some interest to the hike. This section, the white section of the Ragged Rapids Loop, is the easier, flatter section than the blue, which has more terrain changes and goes very close to Black River. So there's a bit of danger, but some nice views of it. I mean, it's far enough above it that if you don't pay attention and fell, that's way too far down the embankment. So we're getting evergreens and regular greens, and every once in a while some tree decides that it's way ahead of its time. And there's another one back over there. And yet, when I turn around and look down this lake, almost nothing has changed. Just, there's one at the end of the lake. There! She's waving. So this piece has been changed since we were here 2 weeks ago. Somebody's tried to improve it, but there's actually an even better route that Jenny's taking, which involves doing a bit of island hopping. So we have come out of this branch, which says Victoria Bridge. That's the white trail. The blue trail intersects it here and heads off over there. And for us, we're doing the High Falls Loop, going this way.
We hiked it like 3 hours, a little bit over 3 hours.
Yeah, it's a little over 3 hours.
No, it should be 3 hours because we start recording at the car.
Yeah. Yeah, you like to wait until we get to the bridge. This is just sort of a field of rock in the middle of nowhere. So we've had a nice patch of sun come out just as we're approaching a very brilliant red tree. This is what I'm staring out at. It's just asking for magnificent amounts of yoga to be done and photographed, don't you think? There's not a soul on the lake. There's no sign of anyone camping here. And it's a beautiful, beautiful day. We're camping a fair way from the water access. Then we put the bear hang and the water filter on the same rope right down out of the way. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
And not only that, I hoist up the water. Once I filled the water, the bag, I can hoist it up and get more altitude. Well, I tasted the first water that came off of the lake. I think I said last time we were here that the lake didn't taste better than most lakes.
Because short of beaver's pee.
No, I'm sure it's the oil off their coat that makes it taste so good.
The beaver's pee made it different.
I'm glad we filter it. Jenny reminded me that I always like to do an intro of our campsite. I'm standing on our campsite, way above Rainy Lake. We've heard absolutely no evidence at all that there is anyone else in Rainy Lake. I mean, around the edge of it camping. So we have our fire going. We've started to prepare dinner. Here is our tent, and what I think is going to be really cool is waking up tomorrow and looking out the front door. So let me come inside. So this is the scene from our front door. So let's just zoom way out. Basically we get a look, an overlook, not quite as high as the rest of the campsite, but pretty high, looking down Rainy Lake.
want to put on the grill.
No.
It's getting rusted on it.
No, you just want to hold it above the heat. So the science that's going on here is that we brought some food that you would call fresh food from home. The reason for that was as follows. When you look in the fridge and you're going to be gone for 4 days, you look at it and you say, oh shoot, the apples aren't going to last, and the cheese isn't going to last, and the pineapples aren't going to last. So you bring a bunch of fruit to eat on the way. You bring the cheese and the wraps we bought to put everything in. But a lot of the fresh food is brought not because we needed to bring it on the camping trip, but because we couldn't leave it at home. We had to clear the fridge of everything that was going to look ugly when we got home. It's probably really good. That is a concoction of egg. And what is it you added? Something bread-like? No, rice? No. Rice. So that was to dilute the egg, because apparently the egg really doesn't work if all you do is fry up an egg and try to dehydrate it. You got to mix it with something with a bit of starch. We didn't have breadcrumbs. Oh, and look, when we got our breakfast on the way up, they gave us all these ketchup packets that we didn't need. So I could have left them in the car and thrown them out later, but what the heck? I bet we're going to really enjoy them tonight. So it's minutes before sunset. We've had dinner. We've hung out all our our stuff to air out that was perhaps damp. Set up the tent, got everything set up there. We got lots of water filtered. We got a campfire going. And we've washed the dishes. We've packed everything up. So at this point, we are going to enjoy quite the campfire until we've digested our dinner and we go into the tent to bed. When we get up, pack and run off.
Yes.
So it's Saturday morning, and that is frost on the top of our tent. And that's frost when we come out and we roll up this door, all of these little bits of frost pieces fall off the door and collect on the tarp. Obviously with the lake the same temperature it was yesterday, there's a lot of moisture coming off the lake as it's hot water compared to the freezing point that we're at right now. It's 7 in the morning. I think it might be a little warmer than it was at 5. The water has about ½ inch of ice at the top. I've always said that when you chill this filtered lake water out in the wilds, it tastes a lot better than when you freshly filtered it. You chill it overnight. Boy, that's really chilled. So the sun's come up and the steam isn't coming off the lake as fast. You can actually kind of see the end of it now. There's nobody here. Oh, this is so cool. And just the last of the campfire going out. We will. So this morning, coming up to the top, you can see the frost is much thicker up the top of the hill behind the campsite. Oh, there's a little brown squirrel sitting on the rock over there. Okay, I've found the next campsite down Rain Lake. Outhouse with toilet seat. Thing table for dealing with your fish. Oh, that sun's too bright. Lots of flat ground. Remnants of an old picnic table. Good water access. Oh, this is, yeah, this really is a little peninsula. Going down the side of Rainy Lake, it's really heavily blazed and appears to be very lightly trafficked. So it's a bit hard to, it would be a bit hard without all the blazes. And it's mostly in the woods. We were coming along the trail where it looks like this, very pleasant. And right in the middle of the trail we came across this, including this. You can't really sit at the picnic table, but you can put your stuff on it. And just to give you an idea how popular this campsite is, there's a sound of running water way off beyond those trees. Other than that, there's no water access that we can detect for this campsite, so I guess nobody stays here. But it was kind of nice today to lay some things out to dry, and we've currently got our breakfast just sitting underneath our pot cozy, finishing its rehydration. Perfectly quiet and still in this kind of big rock field. Basking in sunlight. It's pleasantly warm in the sun. If the sun went out or went in behind a cloud, it would be a little chilly. And I still have one sweater on top of my t-shirt. Look at how high those fern things are that are obviously not actually ferns. This is like a jungle of them. We are on the trail at about the point that we figure we're going to get to High Falls, according to the map. And we can hear the falls. We're not sure what they're going to look like when we finally find the place you can stand and look. Okay. Isn't that really more of a rapid?
High Falls.
Oh, this one's higher. It's so built, it's so grown up here, overgrown. You can't really get a look at them.
I don't think that rock means we have to cross.
No, I think someone did that for fun. We've run into this little area where A, the trail is absolutely unmarked, and B, it's really high. You can see an awful long way. Okay, well, not in front of these trees, but then after the trees, you can see an awful long way. So this is what I see from inside the little area, protected area in the woods where we set up our camp. We've got a lot of beavers there. I was able to get about 5 of them frolicking in the sun just before they went to bed. Beautiful sunny day. Uses quinoa in the oatmeal?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I put in quinoa in the cold water, until boiling, dump the oatmeal in, and the raisins, and then cover this up.
I woke up this morning to the sound of some kind of an animal that sounded rather cow-like. And I thought, what is that? I'm thinking it might have been a moose. And I could tell from the volume that it was coming closer. But I suspect it was the other end of the lake. I and then finally it stopped. But it was kind of cool.
So it's before the lunchtime. We're making Spanish coffee. You taste it. You taste yours.
Of course.
How was it?
Mmm.
Was that sweet?
This is sweet enough and alcohol enough. Very nice. So this is our actual tent and campsite, and Jenny's cooking up lunch, and there's just streams of sunlight coming in, and instead of being really, really cold, which it is when you're totally in the shade, there's these little streamers of sun give you that warmth you need. And then the campfire looks like it's just smoldering, but it's actually running slowly. There's little flames. And then I'm all the way around, and there's back to our beaver pond. So we're just hiding in this little elf. It's just a beautiful, beautiful day here. And we got everything just right. We had our Spanish coffee before lunch. We're cooking our lunch, which is going to be delicious. We got our fire smoldering away. And we got our beautiful protected area where the tent's set up. And I think we're about to eat. It's Sunday afternoon. We've had our nap. We've had our lunch in the opposite order, and we are now going to bushwhack around the beaver pond that is behind our campsite. And I'm using all trails to show me the best way to get there. And I knew that we had to go down, but wow. No, we have to go around the lake. So we're going to cross the creek here and then go back up. But this looks as smooth as any trail we take. I hope the rest of the trail is this easy. Yeah. Yeah, I can have you walking underneath it for scale.
You can set up a camp here.
Why not? Yeah. Yes. Oh, this is one of our easier creek crossings. Wow. So this is the beaver pond behind our campsite. And you can see the beaver pond above the campsite and the slope down between the two. So Jenny just took my picture on this rock. And it's not very big up here. And then if you look around it, it's a long, long way down all around. Pretty steep. Well, we're halfway around the lake. This is going very well. So I'm perched here on this outcropping of rock. Just a little further around the lake again. Jenny's following me. So now we're able to get a look across the lake, the beaver pond, and we can see a little bit of our beaver pond above that. And there's the beaver lodge. How's this?
Why you bend it over like that? This whole area we're walking is nothing but scenic outlooks, and none of them are marked on the map. Fortunately, I'm filming into the sun. But we're now far enough around you really can't see. And look at that beautiful fir tree. I can't even get it all in the picture. What a beautiful fir tree. And obviously there's a reason why it's that healthy. There's a I think that's a creek flowing into the beaver pond at the bottom there. So we have to climb down somehow, down over there, across the river, the creek, and back up to the top there. So we went up the other side of that creek, looked around. There's no over the other side. It just continues on as a big rock field when you get to the top.
But then we come out here. We're now almost at the far end of that lake. Yet another scenic view. So I followed down behind the dam and I come out to this cool little middle of the woods oasis. And it gets fed by water running down those rocks there. The beaver dam looks like 20 feet above the level of this, 15 to 20 feet above the level of this creek or pond. And so that makes it 3 stages with a lot of drop between each stage from where we're camping all the way down to here. How you doing with the bushwhacking, Jenny?
I'm so nervous.
This is not very dense vegetation at all. So right now we're right behind that dam we were looking at. And I started to realize just how big it is. That thing's got to be 10, 12 feet from the water level to the top of it. You have to be so careful when you're bushwhacking. You just don't want to fall and injure yourself. And there's no trail, and this isn't that good a trail anyway, is it? Jenny's going to come up here where I just came. When you get here, this is actually a path the beavers made. That's why the sticks aren't broken away. And it leads down. I refer to it as the downstairs beaver pond and the upstairs beaver pond, and this is how they get between them. We came down the third side of this beaver pond. This is the outcropping of rock that you can see from everywhere else. And it leaves you almost close enough to consider tapping on the door of the beaver lodge.
You go tap.
We know there's a lot of beavers living in there because I saw at least 5 of them swimming towards it this morning. Jenny's trying to figure out how to get across this. She's looking at that fallen tree, but it just doesn't look safe enough. It looks rotten to me. What I found to my surprise when I came up here, another beaver dam. This one is making a higher pond. So whereas the last beaver pond made a lower one than the one we're going around, this makes a higher one, very tiny one. The beaver dam looks quite walkable, so I think I'm going to have a go. Well, this one looks pretty easy. This one looks pretty easy. Oh, are you really going to go across that? You're going to get awful wet.
I guess.
Jenny, this is so easy, this piece of dam.
That one log is shorter.
Shorter?
Yeah, the dam is with that log across is short. Oh, did you see this blue?
Oh no.
This is
Beaver?
that's probably bears.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh.
They got lots of bits in there.
Oh. No, I never noticed it. Look how fresh all that looks. I think they were just building that last night. So we've bushwhacked the trail. Only the very end of it was like struggling through sticks. You can see the beaver lodge maybe through there. There's the rock I like to stand on to take video of this particular level. So all we do is go up here, and in a second we're going to meet up with the actual official hiking trail. So you can see on all trails the hike we did around the lake. We started on the trail at the other side of our dam, went around and joined the trail on this side of the dam, so that's why it's not a full circle. And you can see the little pond that's down a lower level from the one we were going around.
Okay, you can support.
So we're packing up.
That's really cool.
We're packing up to the sound of the coyotes. I think we can see them. We can't see anything. We know they're over there. So last night, coming from this direction behind our campsite, we heard a coyote say a few little howls, just one, and then heard nothing more. And then after we'd gone to bed, we heard from this direction a huge chorus started up, and then another chorus answered them over here. By the end of the night, we heard them coming from up there. Then this morning while we were packing the tent up, we heard a bunch back down here again. Good morning, Jenny.
Good morning.
So this is the departure day, Monday,
Yeah.
of the long week, no, of our weekend. And
It's 7:46.
okay, and we stayed 2 nights at Swan Lake.
One night at Rainy Lake.
Yeah, and we didn't see much beaver, but we heard lots of beavers during the night. So we're finding that there is frost here. This little patch in the shade here has frost. Now where we came from, our campsite didn't have frost. We're at a higher spot. We just passed the junction of the the lower and upper loop of the Rapid Ragged Falls, and or trail, the loop. So we're at the lower junction, and all of a sudden, there's definitely frost here. Interesting.
Right now we're hiking along the Black River. The other side is the Black River Road.
I'm looking at, what's that, a 6 or 7 foot vertical beaver dam, and it's overflowing. And Jenny's going to, she thinks she'd rather walk across it. I think, yeah, I think this is way better down here. Oh, don't get a soaker. So Jenny, we're almost out.
Yes.
I guess we'll do our wrap up when we find another piece of scenic trail.
Yes.
And this part of the trail, it's kind of neat. We're up very high again, or still. And I'm noticing that we're seeing the start of fall colors. Just little bits here and there, but we've been having these little areas where you'll see a couple of trees together that are starting off the show. And this is one of those areas. Oh look, fall colors. So this would be one of nature's water slides. Yeah, it'd be a pretty scary one. Down into the depths and into the river. So we have finished our 41-kilometer hike.
3 days.
We went down to Rainy Lake and around to High Falls and then back to Victoria Bridge where we started. And we've done 17 and a quarter, I think, hours of actual moving time.
Yeah.
41 kilometers.
In 3 days.
3 days of hiking with one layover in the middle to enjoy Swan Lake, where we got to hear coyotes howling almost every hour right through the night, right across the beaver pond at us.
And you saw a bear.
A big mother bear. I couldn't get a photo, but I stopped on the trail. She stopped just off the trail. She looked at me. I don't know if it was a male or a female.
You don't know.
And I walked back a little bit and said to Jenny, "There's a bear ahead." And then we hummed and hawed about what to do, and the next thing you know, we start creeping ahead, and she had snuck off,
Yes.
never to be seen again.
No.
But when I made her jump, I certainly heard a big thud and a lot of cracking branches, but when she snuck away, there was nothing.
There's absolutely no cars here.
That's right.
Parking is no car.
That's right. And we saw 2 parties coming in Friday morning to leave. They'd been here hiking. We heard a couple of ATVs at one point on the ATV trail.
It's clear to see.
It was one evening. It was yesterday evening. And those are the only
the
people
world seems
that
small.
have been here.
Yes.
And by the way, we're not walking home. We just parked in the parking lot that's a wee bit down the street from the actual bridge.
It's so
We can walk.
beautiful. You and me,
Yeah, that's a lot of kilometers. I think it's
we meant to
200.
be in the great
Okay,
outdoors,
that's it for now.
forever free. Sometimes you need to go take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell